of heart. So heart is covered by a fibroserous sac which is called pericardium. Peri means around, cardium means heart. So pericardium is a fibroserous sac or structure or the lining that encloses the heart and the roots of great vessels. If we see this diagram, we see this is the heart. It is covered by this white color structure which is called pericardium. These are the roots of great vessels. So anterior to the pericardium is the body of sternum, which means that pericardium is behind the body of sternum from second to sixth intercostal spaces. Yani costal cartilage. Costal means rib. Cartilage is a rib. That is, it starts from second rib and it ends at the sixth rib. Posteriorly, it is related to from 5th thoracic vertebrae to 8th thoracic vertebrae. So, this pericardium is composed of two layers. Fibrous pericardium, which is, as the name shows, is composed of fibrous tissue, and the serous pericardium. The serous pericardium is again divided into two layers, parietal layer and the visceral layer. If we see this diagram, this is the fibrous pericardium. This one is the parietal layer of the serous pericardium, and this is the visceral layer which is completely adhered to the heart. This is the visceral layer. This one is the parietal layer, and this green one is the fibrous pericardium. So the pericardium is attached to the body of the sternum by the sternopericardial ligament. So this is the pericardial ligament which is attached to the body of the sternum. So this is the picture of heart. This purple one is the pericardial cavity. Internally, it is lined by serous pericardium, and outside it is covered by fibrous pericardium. Then serous pericardium has two layers. The layer which is completely adhered to the heart is called the visceral pericardium, and the layer which is just beneath the fibrous pericardium is the parietal layer. So this one is the parietal layer, this one is the visceral layer, and between these two are the layers of serous pericardium. Between the parietal and the visceral layer, this is the pericardial cavity which contains the pericardial fluid. So due to the presence of this fluid, it reduces the friction between the visceral and the parietal pericardium. So this black one line is the pericardium. As we previously discussed, peri means around, cardium means heart. That is, this is the layer which is around the whole heart. Then just beneath the pericardium, this layer is epicardium. Epi means outside. Then the myocardium. Myo means muscles, means in this layer we have the cardiac muscles. Then the endocardium, which is the innermost layer, or the, we can say, epithelium of the heart, or the innermost layer or the luminal lining of the heart. So this purple one is the endocardium. Endo means inside. This red one is the myocardium. These folds are called trabeculae carni. These are the coronary blood vessels. This is myocardium. Myo means muscles. Yani this layer is composed of cardiac muscles. Then this light purple one is the visceral pericardium. It is the layer of serous pericardium which is completely adhered with the cardiac muscles. Then this is the parietal layer of pericardium, this one, and this purple one lining is the pericardial cavity. This is the parietal layer, which is just beneath this fibrous pericardium. Fibrous pericardium is composed of fibrous tissue. So we have pericardial sinuses. So what are pericardial sinuses? These are the lines of reflection between the visceral and the parietal pericardium. Forming the two pericardial sinuses, we have a transverse pericardial sinus and an oblique pericardial sinus. The transverse pericardial sinus lies anterior to the superior vena cava and posterior to the ascending aorta. So this one is the ascending aorta. This is the superior vena cava, and between these two, if we see this structure, this is the transverse pericardial sinus. What is pericardial sinus? It is the lines of reflection between the visceral and the parietal pericardium. As we know that the visceral and the parietal pericardium are the two layers of the serous pericardium. So the reflections or the cavity between these two layers is called the pericardial sinus. Between the superior vena cava and the ascending aorta, we have the transverse pericardial sinus. The transverse pericardial sinus lies anterior to the superior vena cava and posterior to the ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. This is the pulmonary trunk. This one is the ascending aorta. This is the superior vena cava, and between these three are the transverse pericardial sinus. Then the oblique pericardial sinus lies on the posterior aspect of the heart in the pericardial sac. So this is the oblique pericardial sinus. It is present on the posterior aspect of the heart, or we can say it is present on the posteriorly to the heart. So again, this is the transverse pericardial sinus, which is present on the anterior aspect of the heart between the superior vena cava, ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. This is transverse pericardial sinus, and this oblique one is the oblique pericardial sinus, which is present on the posterior aspect of the heart. We see these are the four pulmonary veins. This is superior vena cava. This is the right and left brachiocephalic veins. This is ascending aorta, arch of aorta. This is pulmonary trunk. These are the lungs with pleura, covered by pleura. So what is the nerve supply of pericardium? The fibrous pericardium and the parietal layer of the serous pericardium is innervated by phrenic nerve, and the visceral layer of the serous pericardium is innervated by the sympathetic trunk and the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve. So this is the picture of heart. This is sternal angle or the imaginary transverse line. Above this transverse line we have the superior pericardium, and below we have the inferior pericardium. Superior mediastinum, and below is the inferior mediastinum. This is ascending aorta. This is arch of aorta with its branches. This is left brachiocephalic vein. Heart starts from the fifth thoracic vertebrae and it ends at the lower border of the 8th or the upper border of the 9th thoracic vertebrae. On the anterior aspect, we have the body of the sternum. It is covered by a fibrous layer, which is called the pericardium, and heart is rest on the diaphragm. This is descending aorta, or we can say thoracic aorta. So, what is angle of Lewis? Angle of Lewis is the sternal angle. It is the angle between the manubrium sterni and the body of sternum. This is manubrium sterni and this one is the body of sternum. It is the angle at which the manubrium sterni and the body of the sternum articulate with each other, and it is an anatomical landmark for finding the second rib. This is second rib or the area of carina. So in this picture we can see this is the trachea, this is superior vena cava, which is formed by the drainage of right brachiocephalic and the left brachiocephalic. This is arch of aorta with its three branches, brachiocephalic, left common carotid and the left subclavian. This is pulmonary trunk, right and left pulmonary arteries. This is a zygous vein. This is phrenic nerve. This is right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle and the left auricle. So this is the cross section of thoracic cavity showing the heart. This is heart. These are the lungs, right lung and the left lung. This is the aorta. This one is the esophagus. These are the muscles of thoracic wall and this is the body of the sixth thoracic vertebrae. So what is the location of heart? It lies in the middle mediastinum. Middle mediastinum is the part of the inferior mediastinum. The heart is somewhat pyramidal in shape or triangular in shape, having apex, anterior surface or the sternocostal surface. Why it is called sternocostal? Because it is behind the body of the sternum and the costal vertebrae. Base, which is the posterior surface, inferior surface or diaphragmatic surface. Why it is called diaphragmatic? Because it rests on the diaphragm. It consists of four chambers, two atria, right and left, and two ventricles, right and left. So this is right atrium, this is the right ventricle, left ventricle, and the left atrium. This is pulmonary trunk divided into right and left pulmonary arteries. This is ascending aorta, arch of aorta, descending aorta, and these are the three branches of arch of aorta. This is superior vena cava. This is atrioventricular groove. This is interventricular groove. This is the diaphragm, and this one is the apex of heart, which we can palpate in the fifth intercostal space about 5 to 6 centimeter away from the mid-clavicular line. So, in this picture, we can see this is the left atrium or the posterior aspect of the heart or the base of the heart, having the 1, 2, 3, 4 pulmonary veins. These pulmonary veins carry the oxygenated blood, and this is the division of pulmonary trunk into right and left pulmonary arteries, and it is the single artery which contains the deoxygenated blood. This is ascending aorta, arch of aorta, and the descending aorta, having three branches: brachiocephalic, left common carotid, and left subclavian. This is inferior vena cava. This is the inferior surface having the cardiac veins, anterior cardiac veins, arteries. So we have different borders of heart like right border, left border, lower border, and upper border. Right border is formed by the right atrium. This is the right border. Left border is formed by the left auricle and the left ventricle. This is the left border. Left auricle and the left ventricle. Lower border or the diaphragmatic surface is formed by the right atrium, mainly by the right ventricle and the apical part of the left ventricle. The upper border is formed by the right and left atrium or the base. So in this picture you can see this is the superior vena cava, this is base of heart, this is right border formed by the right atrium, This is the inferior border which is formed by the right atrium and the right ventricle and the apical part of the left ventricle. This is left border which is formed by the left auricle and left ventricle. This one is the pulmonary trunk and this is arch of aorta. This is the diaphragm and these are the two lungs. Then we have three surfaces of the heart. Sternocostal or the anterior surface. We know that anterior to the heart we have the body of sternum and the costal cartilages. Costa means ribs. So this surface is called sternocostal surface, which is mainly formed by the right atrium and the right ventricle. Then the inferior surface, heart rests on the diaphragm. So the inferior surface is also called diaphragmatic surface. It is mainly formed by the right and left ventricle and the small portion of the right atrium. Then the base or the posterior surface is mainly formed by the left atrium and the apex is formed by the apical part of left ventricle. So this is the apex of heart directed downward, forward and to the left and is formed mainly by the left ventricle. It lies at the level of left fifth intercostal space 3.5 inches from the mid-clavicular line. Note that the base of the heart is called the base because the heart is pyramidal in shape. The base lies opposite the apex. This is apex and this is the base. Heart does not rest on its base. It rests on its inferior or the diaphragmatic surface. This is the diaphragmatic surface. Then the anterior surface or the intercostal sternocostal space. Sternocostal space. This space surface is formed mainly by the right atrium. This is right atrium and the right ventricle. It is divided by atrioventricular groove. The groove between the atrium and the ventricle is called atrioventricular groove, in which we have the right coronary artery. The atrial part formed mainly by the right atrium. Ventricular part is formed by the right two-thirds is formed by right ventricle, while the left one-third is formed by the left ventricle. Between the two ventricles, this right ventricle and the left ventricle, we have the anterior interventricular groove. It is called anterior interventricular groove because it is anteriorly. Interventricular means between the two ventricles, that is the right and the left ventricle, which lodges the anterior interventricular artery, which is the branch of left coronary artery, and this blue one is the great cardiac vein. The coronary groove lodges the right coronary artery, or the atrioventricular groove lodges the coronary artery. The diaphragmatic surface or the inferior surface is formed mainly by the two ventricles. Some part is formed by the right ventricle and the main part is formed by the left ventricle. Slightly concave as it rests on the diaphragm, directed inferiorly and backward. Separated from the base of the heart by posterior part of the coronary sulcus. The two ventricles are separated again by a posterior interventricular groove. It is called posterior interventricular because it is present posteriorly. Interventricular means between the right ventricle and the left ventricle, and it lodges the posterior interventricular artery and the middle cardiac vein. Now the base of the heart. This is the base of the heart, which is formed by mainly two atria. Mainly the major part is formed by the left atrium, in which we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pulmonary veins which carry the oxygenated blood. It is directed backward, lies opposite the middle thoracic vertebrae between 5th to 7th thoracic vertebrae. It is separated from the vertebral column by the descending aorta. This is arch of aorta और फिर यहाँ से क्या आएगा descending aorta, esophagus and the oblique sinus of the pericardium. This is the oblique sinus. Bounded inferiorly by the posterior part of the coronary sulcus. This is coronary sulcus which lodges the coronary sinus. So on the anterior aspect of the heart, we can see the superior vena cava. This is the superior vena cava. This is ascending aorta, then arch of aorta. This blue one is the pulmonary trunk. This is right auricle, which is the part of right atrium. This is the atrioventricular groove. This is right ventricle, left ventricle, anterior interventricular groove, lodges the anterior interventricular artery and the middle cardiac veins, and the inferior vena cava. This is the descending aorta. Then on the posterior aspect, we can see this is the left atrium having 1, 2, 3, 4 pulmonary veins carry the oxygenated blood. This is the division of pulmonary trunk into right and left pulmonary arteries carry the deoxygenated blood. This one is the right atrium. This is inferior vena cava. This is superior vena cava formed by the right and left brachiocephalic veins. This is left ventricle. This is atrioventricular groove having the left coronary artery. This is posterior interventricular groove carry the posterior interventricular artery. Then if we see the heart on the posterior aspect, we can see this is left common carotid artery, this is left subclavian artery, this is brachiocephalic trunk, this is superior vena cava, ascending aorta, arch of aorta, then the descending aorta. These are the pulmonary arteries. This is auricle of the left atrium. These are the left pulmonary veins. These are the right pulmonary veins. This is left atrium. This is coronary sulcus having the coronary sinus. This is left ventricle, posterior interventricular groove. This is the right ventricle. This is middle cardiac vein. This one is the inferior vena cava. This is the right coronary artery, and this one is the right atrium. So this is the anterior interventricular sulcus or anterior interventricular groove carry the anterior interventricular artery. Why it is called anterior interventricular groove? Because it is present anteriorly. Interventricular means between the two ventricles, that is the right and the left ventricle. This is the auricle of the right atrium. This is ascending aorta, arch of aorta. This is pulmonary trunk. This is the superior vena cava. Then this is the posterior interventricular groove, carry the posterior interventricular artery. This is coronary sulcus having the coronary sinus. We can see this. These are the pericardial reflection. This is oblique sinus. This is left atrium. This is inferior vena cava. This one is the superior vena cava, arch of aorta, and two pulmonary arteries carry the deoxygenated blood.